British Kenya. What a beautiful, resource, and manpower-rich colony. Nothing could ever go wrong. Discriminatory laws based on race, which affects your political and economic privileges. Racial segregation, which destroyed the lives of many black Africans. Land redistribution, which confiscated native Kenyans' fertile lands to white colonists, making them work for them. Eventually culminating in a devastating Mau Mau rebellion, causing much turmoil and death.
(1885). Tensions between Germany and the United Kingdom are rapidly increasing, while relations are rapidly decreasing. I wonder what we could do to curb our aggressive foreign relations with the UK and stop the incredible threat to humanity and lives of millions to avoid war. Let's colonize! The East African German colonialism was understandably making the British leadership very nervous. I wonder what we should do to curb German expansionism but not increase tensions and worsen relations. I know! Let's colonize!
The Germans began to spread throughout the land, coming in from key ports on the eastern coast and coming north through the country, creating German East Africa. In hot pursuit, the British also captured key ports, moving through roads in the country to Uganda and established the British East Africa Protectorate, with its capital in Nairobi. Spreading from Mombasa to Nairobi and eventually to Lake Victoria, the Uganda-Kenya Railway was born. In addition, the Africans were moved out of the Kenya Highland region, which was home to many of the lush farming resources. This land was then given to the white colonists and settlers.
By 1938, 2,000 European colonists occupied 7,700 square miles of land. That's about 1,920 Bransons. The European colonial settlers were encouraged to grow cash crops such as sugarcane, coffee bean, and tobacco to stimulate economic growth in the Highlands region. Being the main agricultural hub, this caused food insecurities to the millions of Kenyans who relied on food imports from the region out to the countryside.
Adding on to the already dire situation for the native Kenyans, World War I began, which saw direct conflict with German East Africa. Many Kenyans were conscripted and usually into dangerous and dirty jobs such as support battalions.
By 1920, the East Africa Protectorate became the Kenya colony, thus furthering the grip the British had on the people and their resources. In 1939, the British declared war on Germany, thus kicking off World War II. Around 100,000 Kenyans were conscripted into the British Army to fight the Italian in Ethiopia. Conditions were horrible. On top of the segregated military, Kenyans could not rise above the rank of a warrant officer.
Eventually, enough was enough, and in 1952, a group of 4 major resistance leaders rose up and began the Mau Mau Uprising, led by Dedan Kimathi. The reason this uprising was launched was due to the long colonial rule which had plagued the native Kenyans, rage for the British dragging them into the 2 most destructive wars in history, as well as causing racial divides, segregation, and redistribution of land to white settlers, all pulsed in the rebels' veins. Leaders of the rebellion, Dedan Kimathi, said, "We reject colonization in Kenya because it has turned us into slaves and beggars." The uprising was a bloody one, lasting over 8 years and causing 10,000 deaths on the Kenyan side. Due to the sudden cry of independence for the Kenyans, and the situation in Kenya becoming invaluable economically, the British ended colonial rule, and the independence of Kenya was declared on December 12, 1964.